Alright guys, step one on how to Cummins swap your square body truck. Now that video right there was my Cummins swap 1980 Chevy K30 pickup. Now I'm no pro, but I did Cummins swap that truck and I use it quite a bit. And I've been requested this video quite often on maybe to do a series on how to Cummins swap your truck and some things to keep in mind. Now I'm going to try to keep this simple for those of you who are kind of newer to diesels and maybe don't know why everybody Cummins swaps everything. So step one, we need to find an engine. Now the 12 valve Cummins is a straight six diesel engine, always found in Dodge pickups. Now they're also found in everything from like that Case bulldozer to water pumps to school buses to, I mean, all over the place. But the most common place you're going to find one for a donor is a Dodge pickup. Starting in 1989, which is what this truck is, which was the first year you could get a Cummins 12 valve in a Dodge truck. Now they were only offered in 2500 and 3500 series trucks, so the 3/4 tons and 1 ton trucks. Now this is what the run-of-the-mill 12 valve is going to look like. They're easily identified because of these different valve covers for each cylinder, 2 valves per cylinder, 12. Sometimes they got a plate up here, but there's a few differences in this first generation Cummins that you may want to keep in mind. So if you're looking at an 89 to around a 91.5, it's going to be a non-intercooled engine, which means it doesn't have a cooler up front for the turbo air, which is not a big deal. That's easy to add, but it does help with power. Now the first generation Dodge 12 valves are going to have the VE mechanical fuel pump. Now everybody wants the P pump because they make more power or whatever, but there's no problem with this VE pump. Plenty of aftermarket support. Now factory, these things were like 160 horsepower, 400 foot-pounds, but you can easily push 400, you can push 500 horse without even taking the valve covers off. Just a few minor upgrades and twisting some screws. That's why everybody likes them. But in my opinion, it's always easier to keep the transmission that comes with this, just because you're not out money buying adapters and stuff. So it's always, nice if you want an automatic, find an automatic or a standard. Like I said, you can find these things in school buses and tractors and stuff like that, but then you're gonna have to buy all the bracketry and stuff to get it to fit, in a regular pickup. Plus your bell housings are gonna be different, and that just adds up. So this is your first option. Your second option is gonna be the second gen Dodge Cummins. Now, I like to call these Cummins shipping crates because they're known for the truck falling apart around the engine. I don't know what it is about you Dodge guys, but you're always ramming shit instead of dodging it. But I actually drove this truck to right here where it's at. This is a 12 valve. Now the second gens were from 1994 to around 2002, I believe. But if you want a 12 valve, in around 1998, I believe it was a half year, they went to a 24 valve. Now you can swap those, but there's a lot more in depth to it because you got to do the electronics and everything. So if you're looking for one with a 12 valve, you're looking for around 1998 to 1994. But the main advantage with the second gens is that in 1994, along with the new body style, they went to the P pump fuel system. Now this is the one everybody wants, and this is what they're talking about. It's easily identified by all these fuel lines in a straight line instead of in like a V configuration on the first generation Dodge Cummins. Now the valve covers are the same. This one has a plate on there, but all of these are going to be charge air cooled. Now there's not a whole lot on the truck itself as far as like electronics go that you're going to need to keep. I'll save that for another video. But the other option that you have is to buy an engine that's already been pulled. So there's nothing wrong with that, but you got to keep in mind that there's always a gamble to it, because if you can't hear the engine run, you don't really know what you're buying, and there may be a few things missing. Like this engine I got a good deal on, but I don't know anything about it, and he didn't either. So it's missing the fuel injection pump. So say I was going to use this engine, first thing I'm going to have to do is spend at least $1,000 on a pump just to see if it runs. But when you find the engine that you're going to use, we need to figure out what transmission we're going to use if it did not come with it. So that will be part 2.